Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the OT. It's raining on the outside of our studio, so if you're out there, please drive with extreme caution and care. Yes, we are still in the month of July, still celebrating independence, and the Bahamas flag is flying all over the world. The 242 will be a busy place this week as we get set to host the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship. That tees off on Wednesday at the Albany Golf Course out there in the West. Teams start arriving as early as yesterday. The remainder expected in today. They'll be staying at the Super Club Breezes, where the official opening ceremony will be held tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. Some 12 teams are in for that, including Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Barbados, just to name a few. Like I said, they'll start playing on Wednesday. So if you're looking for something to do this week with 242 colors in mind, it is the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship. Overseas, it is the FINA Long Course Swimming Championships underway in Korea. Sunday, they are over there in Korea. They are some 12, 15 hours ahead of us. So when we are sleeping, they are up and early swimming. Joanna Evans on Sunday was 16th overall in the 400-meter freestyle time, 4 minutes, 11.16 seconds. And she comes back later on tonight in the 200-meter freestyle. She'll be in Heat 5. We'll have that result for you first thing tomorrow morning, as it will happen overnight. Also, Isaac Bastian swimming on Sunday, 58th in the 100-meter breaststroke in a minute 3.60, and he too swims tonight, Heat 4 of the 50-meter breaststroke. And just this morning, it was Margaret Aubrey Higgs, 35th overall in the 100 breaststroke in a minute 10.65. But I don't think the flag was flying as high as it was in Mexico. That's where the Bahamas got its biggest victory on the weekend. Justin Roberts, he had to go through the qualifying rounds just to get into the main draw. Knocked off his two opponents there at the International Tennis Federation Cancun Cup. Then once he got into the main draw, it seemed like his swing found the groove. He knocked off the number 3 seed and the number 1 seed in the tournament en route to making the finals. And then yesterday in the finals, took on American Calman Boyd, and he won that in a toughie, 3-6, 7-6, and 6-4. It is his first ever International Federation singles title. He won the doubles over in Mexico a few weeks ago with Antigua and Barbuda partner Jody McGinley. So now he has the International Tennis Federation singles and doubles title, and he'll be representing Team 242 later on this month at the Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru. So he seems to be right where he wants to be heading into that championship. So, but congratulations once again going out to Justin Roberts. Just giving you an update on how the Bahamas flag is all over the world this past weekend. Also, we had a team over there in Costa Rica, the Under-20 Pan Am Track and Field Championships. We were only able to come away with one medal. The team, a bit of a hiccup getting down to Costa Rica. If you follow ZNS Tool Sports, one half of the team left on Wednesday, the other half left on Thursday. That team that left on Wednesday, they missed their connecting flight, so they did not get into Costa Rica until Thursday, a day before the championship begins. Most of the athletes had to pull out of the event, not at full strength with all that jet lag, so only one medal, and that was a bronze coming from Denisha Anderson in the 40 meters. Her time was 53.23 seconds, so we'll have to see on that. Then on Saturday at the Mueller Games in London, Patria Seymour, she continues to turn heads in the 100-meter hurls. She was 6th in a time of 12.96 seconds, and Jeffrey Gibson making his comeback. He was 7th in the 400-meter hurls, his time 49.88 seconds. Under 17 boys national basketball team, they are on their way to Puerto Rico for the Central Basket Tournament. The girls played there a few weeks ago where they finished 6th overall and failed to qualify for the 2020 Under-18 FIBA America's Cup. The boys team looking pretty good, led by head coach Quentin Three-Ounce Hall, assistant coaches Danica Bowles and Mark Hanna. On that team, it is Tyler Pinder, Dayton Aubrey, Joshua Burrows, Isaiah Brennan, Oswald Meadows, Reagan Roberts, Malik Joseph, Donato Ali, Deontay Dean, Ramad Dean, Chester McPhee, and Jaden Smith. Those are the players that will begin competition this coming Wednesday. They'll get right into the hot seat when they take on the host country, Puerto Rico. We are playing out of Group A alongside Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, and El Salvador, hoping to get to the crossover playoffs. Now, the top 3 teams from this tournament qualified for the Under-18 FIBA Americas tournament in 2020. And while that squad is underway, it's a busy day for the Zedness Total Sports Department, because right after this show, I'm headed on down to the Kendall G.L. Isaacs Gymnasium, where they'll have the opening for the 24 Elite Buddy Hield Hope Invitational. They were my guests on the OT last week. You heard about that. And they'll be starting things off today. The top 24 ballers in the country, those at the high school level who may have just finished high school or still in high school, will be treated to a week of drills by Buddy and some of his players from the NBA, also from high school coaches as well. Down there, it's a closed session, but Buddy will be making some appearances here and there throughout the breath of New Providence before he heads over to Grand Bahama next week. He'll be in Baintown. He'll also be in Seabreeze. He'll be also making little stops here and there, so you'll get a chance to be up and close and meet sharpshooter Buddy Hield as he is in town for the week. But right after this show, I'm headed over to the Kendall G.L. Isaacs Gymnasium for the official opening of that camp, and then I'll head over down to Priest's Super Club and get some stories out there as well as the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship team start arriving in the 242. Hopefully this rain will go out of the way in time for Wednesday when they go on the courses and get. But today's show is all about track and field. We just let you got caught up on all of that. We're going to talk about track and field because this is a big weekend for track and field, as most of the elite athletes will be in town for the B3S Nationals this coming weekend in Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama, are you ready for the Nationals? We're going to take a break. Our guests are just coming in, and when we come back, it's more on the OT.
Are you a business owner who's tired of watching your money going out and not coming in? Is it getting lonely at your business without customers? Don't keep your business a secret. If you're listening to this right now on the ZNS Network, so are thousands and thousands of potential customers for your business. What are you waiting for? Let us help you tell the world about your business. Just call your account executive now or the ZNS sales office at 502-3800 and ask about our rates and packages. Then sit back and watch your business grow.
At Commonwealth Bank, we understand. Just because you've had financial problems in the past, that doesn't make you a bad person. That was then, this is now. A previous financial misstep shouldn't instill fear and anxiety when you need to talk to someone about a new loan or getting a credit card. Talk to Commonwealth Bank. We get it. Tell us what you need, and we'll do whatever we can to help. Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking.
Easy listening in the afternoon. Smooth, soft, and easy, just like Sunday.
Memories scattered all around the floor. It's 1:15.
Easy listening in the afternoon. Smooth, hello, soft, and easy, just like Sunday.
It's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like
easy listening in the afternoon.
Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely.
Easy listening in the afternoon, coming soon to Radio Bahamas.
It's the show that everybody's talking about. Hard-hitting, informative, captivating. The OT with Charles Fisher. Catch all the overnight sports scores. Interviews with some of your favorite athletes. Get the latest sports news from around the world. The OT with Charles Fisher. Each Monday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, the national voice. Don't miss it.
Hey, you! That's That's right, you. Don't touch that dial. Right now, thousands and thousands of people who could be your customers if they knew about your business are listening to the station right now. Hey, what are you waiting for? Zetness has got the advertising packages to fit every budget, so you don't have any excuse not to advertise on the National Voice. Call your account executive today or the Zetness Sales Department at 502-3800. I'm talking to you, the National Voice. We get results.
Good morning. We are back on the OT. Had to get all that house cleaning out of the way with the Caribbean Amateur Junior Golf Championship. Justin Roberts winning over there in Mexico. The FINA Long Course Swim Championship. Team Bahamas on their way to the FIBA Central Basket Tournament over there in Puerto Rico. But like I told you before we went into the break, it's all about the Beach Race Nationals this coming weekend in Grand Bahama. The second time it is being held in the second city. And joining us in studio for the first time on the OT. Boy, she's making me feel old. I mean, she's Anthonique Strachan. I remember her at CC 2012 Austin Seeley Award winner at the Grifter Game, world champion, the rising star of the year. So many accolades. I'm getting old and she's still looking young. Morning, Anthonique. Welcome to the OT. How's it been?
It's been good. It's been good. A little trying, but good.
Last time I saw you was over there in Auburn in Alabama training. Still there? How's it going?
Oh, no. I'm now in Kingston, Jamaica. I train with the MVP UTEC Track and Field Club.
Mm-hmm. And who all is in that stable?
Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, Elaine Thompson, Asafa Powell, Nesta Carter, Julian Ford, Ronald Levy, Sharika Jackson, Genevieve Russell. Whole lot more.
How is the adjustment being from the United States to training in Kingston?
Trying. I mean, it's just because like you get used to, I wouldn't want to call it like first world living, but you get used to having everything at your disposal. As to in Jamaica, then you take it back a few steps because they keep everything down to the basics and you just get so
Why the switch?
I mean, I wanted to challenge myself more track and field wise. I felt as if like I collected so many injuries over the years, and through all the injuries and hurt, it started to play on me mentally, and then it started to demotivate me, and I sort of got redundant and more lazy, and I just didn't have the heart for the sport anymore. So I was like, before I actually quit, let me try to put myself in an uncomfortable situation to see if it's going to change and make me better.
How's it been so far?
It actually has worked the way I planned for it to work. I found back the love I had for track and field, and I got a better reading on myself and a better understanding on the sport than what I originally had.
I remember a few years ago from you left there, they wanted you in that MVP training, right? A couple years ago.
I don't think it was MVP that wanted me. I think it was Coach Mills with the racers. Mm-hmm. And I decided to go to Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not any and anybody could get in this year. The name is MVP training. How did that connection come about?
It was through Henry and also Puma, which is who I'm signed to. They sort of suggested that I should try go to MVP because Paul Francis, their club just began sponsored by by Puma, and it's now basically a little Puma camp. So they're like, let's try this here and see if it's going to be a good fit and to see if that it could help you get to where you need to get in your career.
And going up against those big dogs every day, you have to really push yourself.
Yeah, and it's not even really going up against them. It's like you could see the hunger in them and to see that they achieved so much. And I always remember, like, I always wanted to be at that level, like where Shelly Ann was at and then where Elaine became. And just to see that every day they have that same hard drive and that same dedication. So it's like, okay, if they could do it and they already have all these accolades and they already achieve Olympic medals and world medals. You haven't achieved those things yet, so why don't you try to tough out through it and be a little bit stronger and see if it's going to work for you?
And you made an interesting point, getting back to basic, because everybody believes that in the United States that everything is right at your disposal and you're supposed to run fast. And then you say, being happy again in track and field.
Yeah, because in the U.S., like I said, I collected a lot of injuries, and I wouldn't want to blame it on me being in the U.S. It wasn't that, because I had injuries from when I was a junior. This is actually my first year doing track and field that I have not had a serious major injury. So I started track and field in 2009, and I started off with a hamstring injury. Then I went from a hamstring injury to an Achilles injury, which I had all up until 2012, which was my biggest problem with the Achilles problem, and it came back again. Then I had a spot hernia, and getting surgeries, it just demotivated me because it was so much struggle, and I felt as if like, oh, my body was betraying me, and like track and field didn't love me, and I'm giving my all to track and field. So I was like, you know what, I'm just tired of this, because this comes like an abusive relationship.
And so far, so good. I saw you earlier this year on the European circuit. You picked up third in the 200 meters. How is it to get back on that circuit and be running that fast?
It's really nice, because even going into it, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stop like trying to fight for a time and trying to prove a point to people. I'm just trying to do it for myself and make small triumphs to see what I could do best for myself. Because like I said, I lost motivation in track and field, and nobody else like knew how I was feeling, because I kept it all to myself and I handled it with a smile, and I came home and I ran year in, year out. I ran on relay teams year in, year out. I was physically hurt. I was mentally drained. I was exhausted. I just was ready. I was ready for the season to be done before the season even started then. So
we're talking with Anthonique Strachan. I'm going to try to get the most out of her right now before we get into the Beach Race Nationals Week. And I know that you say mentally, because you talked about being comfortable, and I know you heard the talk about what happened to Anthony. Anthony can't run it. This one she is to beat now. This one beaten up. How did that play with your psyche?
I mean, that outside of me doubting myself, that sort of got to me more, because I was like, wow, you people really, really being ungrateful right now. Like, I'm out here trying to run for you guys, even though I no longer want this. I'm just doing it for you guys, and for you guys to turn around and say, oh, you suck. Like, that's so hurtful, because I go to training every day, no matter the rain, no matter the temperature, no matter sunshine or whatever. I go out and train, and I train hard, because doing track and field is wear and tear on your body, and my body itself is already breaking down on its own. So it's like, okay, since you guys say I suck, then I just wouldn't be running. And that's just how I felt.
I know I could see the difference in Anthonique already, because Anthonique, I haven't seen you this happy from your days running at CC and then SAC, and then at the Carifta Games when you won the Austin City War. It's like you have found a new love for track and field again.
Yeah, I think like my earlier career in track and field, it was more like to prove a point. And I think that's what fueled me in running. And I think that was the negative effect of it, because when you're so busy trying to prove a point, you lose yourself in it. And now the only point I'm proving is to myself. Like, any goal I set for myself, that's what I want to achieve. I don't care how it looks to other people. I don't care if people say, oh, so-and-so running this. I'd be like, so what? Forget about so-and-so, because so-and-so isn't doing what I'm doing. They're not feeling what I'm feeling. They didn't walk a centimeter in my shoes. So why do you think that they could walk a mile in it? I didn't do the same to them. So I just try to be happy for them, and in return, it makes me happy for myself, and I'm satisfied with that.
did you think you focus more on the business aspect of it and trying to put food on the table and not worrying about Anthonique and loving the sport?
I think that's what it is. I think I got so caught up in trying to become a professional and become an adult so early out in the sport because I signed from when I was in high school. So I never went through that stage to say go to college and then get the basics of becoming a professional athlete and being able to understand. I literally went from being in my parents' house one day, my parents waking me up for school and me saying no, and to going out there where I'm setting my own alarm, I'm making my own meals, I'm doing this, I'm doing that.
17.
Yeah, so it's like I didn't have the triumphs what other kids had growing up where they get a chance to go out with friends and go to parties and stuff. No, I wasn't going to no parties. I still don't go to parties.
One time ago, I said this could be the first Bahamian to win the 1, the 2, and you were scared of the 4 a little bit, but you loved it for relays.
I never loved the 400. Now, I'm not going to lie to nobody. I'm not going to lie to nobody. If I don't have to do a 400, I ain't doing it. And even if I have to do it, I'm going to talk my way out of it. But in actuality, I love the 400 way more than I love the 100. And I would prefer to do the 400 more than the 100. But I would do the 400 when they find a way for me not to catch lactic.
So what is a basic day for you like in Jamaica?
Well, I wake up earlier than most to go to training.
I get awake for 5. You wake up that early?
I'm up before you.
Wow. I got it rough.
I'm up before you. I'm actually already running at 5. So I wake up early, go to training, come back home about 9:30ish. Take a shower, eat breakfast, take a little nap, then go back out again for training, do a little gym, do some plyo, do some rehab, treatment, and back home by 8, 9 o'clock and repeat the cycle again.
Every day? Monday to Friday, Saturday sometimes, if not a race?
Not sometimes. Every day is a Saturday.
Sunday?
We train 6 days a week, multiple times every day. And Sunday is your rest day.
Some people may say you go down there, but Jamaica don't have the facilities, and how are they able to produce such quality athletes? You tell me, you have the inside school.
Well, the thing is like, when I look at it, when I said that I was going to Jamaica, well, I didn't tell a lot of people. I sort of kept everything on the hush. And the people who I told, some of them, they was like, Jamaica? That's like, but you're in the U.S. and the facilities are way better. I was like, but who have the fastest set of people? Like, Jamaica literally has the fastest man in the world. They also have the 2 fastest female sprinters in the world. So if they don't have the best facilities, but they have the best athletes, there clearly is something with everybody else missing that they have. So if you want to be the best, you have to train with the best, and you have to then become to understand the best. So that's just how I looked at it.
And looking back at it now, how's your season been in terms of time? How many meets have you been in?
I've competed a lot in Jamaica because, like I said, like I tend to get a lot of injuries, and the coaching staff there, they just wanted to be able to control injuries and help me build confidence with each run, and for me to understand track and field better, and to learn the new techniques and training that they have tried to train me with, because I'm actually a difficult person to train sometimes. So it's just doing that and trying to run with the correct technique. So I've done a lot of races.
You still get that running wild.
Yeah, but trust me, like
wild style. It is work for you. So
yeah, but the thing is, it's like a lot of people would say like, "Oh, your technique's still terrible." Look back at 2009 and look at Anthonique in 2019. You would realize the difference in technique. Like, I had no knee lift whatsoever. I had no motion out of the blocks. I had 0. The only thing I had was top end speed. Now I actually have a transition. I know how to hold a drive phase. Do I do it all the time? No, but I try. So I feel as if trying counts. That's just how I look at it.
So what will you be doing this weekend?
I'm actually going to do the 100 and 200 this weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to try not get back to the old me, but try get back to some old times. And that's about it.
Old times like?
Like, because my previous time in the 100 was 11:20, even though I haven't really done 100 meters since 2012.
Mm-hmm. The PB 11:20. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In
And
Barcelona.
my 200 time is 22:32, which I ran on the Freeport track. So
Okay. Yeah. And 52:42 400.
yeah, I'm not doing no 400s though. I'm not doing no 400.
Why do people scare away from this 400?
I tell people only crazy people do 400s. That's my belief, and I'm sticking with that. If you're crazy, you do a 400. You have people that do 400s that don't like 400s. So why me as a sprinter should like the 400?
Well, Dion, we're going to take a break here on the OT. We have gotten all that, what's going on with Anthonique Strachan out the way. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about this weekend's B3S Nationals. It's going to the second city. They don't like us to call them that, but they are the second city. Grand Bahama up north. We'll be right back.
Are you a business owner who's tired of watching your money go out and not come in? Is it getting lonely in your business without customers? Then stop keeping your business a secret. And if you're listening to this right now on the ZNS network, so are thousands of potential customers for your business. So what are you waiting for? Let us help you tell the world about your business. Just call your account executive now or the ZNS sales office at 502-3800 and ask about our rates and our packages. Then sit back and watch your business grow.
Boy, you see what just going down?
No, Dre, what going on?
Pokemon them stand up Grammy on the corner and take up pension money. Dread and broad daylight dudes them cut movie, my boy.
No, man.
Dread, these dudes need to stop. That could have been my old lady.
Boy, real dog. You can get them off the streets by calling Crime Stoppers and reporting what you see off in the Grammy.
Then I would be like old dead dog on the side of the street?
No, but you safe. Calls answered in Miami or Toronto, Canada. And you ain't giving them no personal information. They just give you a PIN number.
What I could do with PIN number? I can't eat it.
Boy, when they arrest Pokemon, you can call Crime Stoppers with that PIN number and get some cash. Like they say, tip for tip.
You say I get cash? What's the number you say?
From Nassau, call 328-TIPS. Or free from the Family Islands at 242-300-TIPS. Together, we can stop crime before it's our time.
Call 328-TIPS or from the Family Islands 242-300-TIPS.
This public service announcement was brought to you by Crime Stoppers in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Are you a business owner who's tired of watching your money going out and not coming in? Is it getting lonely at your business without customers? Don't keep your business a secret. If you're listening to this right now on the ZNS network, so are thousands and thousands of potential customers for your business. What are you waiting for? Let us help you tell the world about your business. Just call your account executive now or the ZNS sales office at 502-3800 and ask about our rates and packages. Then sit back and watch your business grow.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it is extremely important to be prepared and know just what to do. Stay informed about the storm's path by listening to the radio or television for hurricane progress reports. Check emergency food and household supplies. Be sure you have extra batteries for flashlights and radios. Bring in outdoor items like lawn furniture and garden tools. Anchor objects that cannot be brought inside. Secure buildings by closing and boarding up windows. Remove outside antennas and satellite dishes. Turn refrigerators and freezers to the coldest settings, opening only when absolutely necessary and closing quickly. Purchase ice and store it in an ice chest. Keep drinking water in clean jugs and bottles. Clean your bathtub with bleach and fill it with water for washing and flushing, not for drinking, making sure to keep the bathroom door closed so that small children cannot access the filled tub. Do not go out to videotape or take photos of the storm. Take pictures from inside where it is safe and dry. There is no harm in being overly cautious where a hurricane is concerned. It is truly better to be safe than sorry. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Good morning. We are back on the OT. Have a quite interesting talk off air with Anthonique Strachan, who now trains with MVP out of Jamaica. But we're learning that during the summer months, you guys train in Italy. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I believe that the coaching staff just decides to move over to Italy because it's easier for us to get into meets because you're already there. It's sort of hard for them to say, oh, we're not going to invite you to the meet, or we're not going to allow you to run in the meet, when you're going to have to spend more money to get somebody from Jamaica or the U.S. or Bahamas as to somebody that's right here in Italy.
How's life on the circuit? It must be taxing. You land one day, the hour different, and you have to compete, and you're still expected to perform at that highest level. How's life on the circuit?
I mean, it's enjoying, but at the same time, it's also draining because you have to try to adapt to every situation. And you also have to adapt to the food that's provided there for you. And if you're like me, like food is your weakness. So I don't eat a lot of things, but I'm also keen on like what I eat. And I more tend to my palate. If it tastes good, I want it.
No diet as an athlete for you?
You see this body here, like I've forever been this size. But I do diet. I try to, my biggest thing is like, eating sweets and ice cream. I'm like an ice cream holic. So once I eat it one time, it's so hard for me to not constantly keep going back.
You're the first athlete I see me eating all those junk food. I can say a body is just fit to be like that. But Kermit, I must apologize. I haven't spoken with Anthonique in quite so long, and I just wanted to get.
But she's better looking than me.
Yeah, that's why they put her closer to me to sit down. I just wanted to get all this out. Well, Kermit, this weekend the B3 Nationals over there in Grand Bahama. How are things?
Well, the LOC has been working exceptionally hard in Freeport, Grand Bahama, preparing for the meet. One of the challenges with Freeport has always been in the evenings, the lighting. So they've worked out a special arrangement to get the lighting as perfect for this weekend. So once the sun set, we'll have great lighting, especially for us folks who need media who needs to do video and stills. So they've corrected that. But also in terms of entries, we've got a good quality number of athletes. And also we've got some international athletes also expressing interest in competing this weekend in Freeport.
And this is going to be quite a weekend because most of the trials, the Jamaica trials is finished, all the other trials is finished. Only us in the Bahamas.
No. The U.S.
That's what I mean.
And then Canada.
Canada's also coming.
This weekend, yeah.
Yeah, so the big boys this weekend.
Yeah, but actually, because in conversation with Anthony, I also just realized also that cause this is an off week for the Diamond League this weekend also, because probably also a number of countries having their nationals is during this window here also. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, it's also mandatory that the athletes compete at their country's nationals.
And the B3 Nationals used as a qualifier for the World Championships later on this year. I think one of those athletes has already inked her name on the qualifying standard, 22.81 in the 200 meters, along with Tania Gaither, 22.69. Shawnee, 22.09. That 20 is going to be quite an interesting race this weekend, Anthony.
Yeah. And the thing is, in talking with Anthony also, and I let her finish the thought because the conversation was like when you get in that 8 lanes and you occupying one. You think about your left and right and who's in lane to the left and right of you, and she had a very interesting thought about it.
My thought is that I just focus on myself because like I was from a junior, I'm still that way now. I'm very self-evolved. So I tend to think about myself more because if you think about the other 7 lanes, you're going to not run your race. And that's what everybody's plan is, to try get everybody not to run their race and run your race. Because you know your race plan. Nobody else knows it. So the minute you focus on lane 7, you run yourself out of gas, and then what happens? You can't catch lane 7 because you already run their race plan and you forgot about yourself. So I just tend to focus on myself, try to stay in my own lane, focus on the instructions that my coach gave me, and just be YOLO in that race.
That was an interesting point that you can pass on to the youngsters. They know at Griffith, some of them be, so-and-so in lane 5, so-and-so in lane 6. I got to worry about them. But like, you say worry about your own race.
Yeah, I actually, like, even going into meets, before I used to look at the lanes and look at people's season's best and PB, and you psych yourself right out. Because on paper, sometimes you're the last person. Like, you're not destined to make it through. Mm-hmm. But in reality, every new race, those seasons best don't matter. Those PBs don't matter. Because that person could go out there and false start. Mm-hmm. Or you could go out there and get a better start than what you ever got all year. And turn around and surprise the crowd. That's all track and field is. Track and field is in this moment. Track and field is the now. So if you're not in the now and you're just worrying about somebody's past performance, what happened to the present?
1 and 2, you like how the schedule, Friday is the 1 and Saturday is the 200, right?
No, I'm the wrong person to talk to about schedules. I don't have it in my head, so forgive me.
Yeah, Friday is the 100 meters, both heats and finals, and Saturday is the 200 meters, heats and finals.
You have a love for Freeport track too.
I wouldn't call it really a love. It's more like a little history. Like, because I do, biasly, I like running in Nassau way more than I do in Freeport. But it's just being from a biased standpoint. But my fastest 200-meter time was run on the Freeport track, which is 22:32.
Mm-hmm. Talk about some interesting matches we're going to have this weekend. I know in the 200 meters already, like I indicated, that should be a good race. Give us some more interesting matchups this weekend.
If I could just quickly run, like you started to mention about some of the pre-qualifiers. Like Badria's already qualified in the women's 100-meter hurdles.
That's
going to be exciting. Mm-hmm. Of course, then is Devin Charlton. That's going to that will be in the women's 100-meter hurdles. But we also have Charmaine. Last name leaves me, but out of Jamaica, the Olympian. She's also expressing an interest in competing this weekend in Freeport. So that's and for the most part, the women's hurdles always go to like a straight finals. So that's going to be very interesting with the flavor, possibly having a Jamaican in that final with the Bahamas. Stevie Gardner, as you said, already qualified in 200 and the 400. What I find interesting is also Latona Lothario Collie Men's. Since I think it was in 2011 in Lille, France. When you would have won the 1 and the 2.
Oh, no, I didn't go to Lille, France. It's 2012, though, in Barcelona.
Okay, yeah. So, but they would have won bronze and gold. And I don't think they've ever competed at a national, at either of championships since then together. So they've both qualified, and I'm excited about that. But, of course, what can you say about Shawnee, right? The 2 and the 4, so that's going to be interesting. Donald already pre-qualified in the men's high jump. Tania Gaither. I saw her ran. I think it was 2 weekends ago in the Clermont, Florida meet, and she really looked impressive. And I think she's going to dip under that 11 seconds. I think by the time she gets to World Championships. Anthonique already did the 2, and we'll see what happens with the 4. See if we could kind of talk her into that 400.
That's too much for one weekend.
Nope.
But I think one of the persons I think everybody's kind of talking about now is Samson Colbert.
Yeah, but he won't be here for the nationals. His coach said that he has to concentrate on summer school and getting ready. He wants to shut him down so that he'll be fit and ready next year's the Olympic year. So he wants to shut him down. He had a long season, and boy, I was impressed too with Samson. 10:01 at the NACAC under 23 championships a few weeks ago. 10.01.
Yeah, that's really great by the coach though, because the college athletes, they had a really long season. You have indoor. You have indoor sometimes from December, then you go to the outdoor, and this year the Worlds is extremely late, September, October. So if his coach let him go up to September, October, he's still a college athlete. He has to compete for the indoor season and then outdoor and then Olympics again. So it's like, what time does he has to rest? You have to let your body rest so that you could build back up again.
Thanks, a good point, good decision there.
But also, because when you talk about matchups, also and for me also, I've tend to wait for the high jump. Also, I thoroughly enjoy the men's high jump. Yeah. Always. Oh man,
You know, he tries to put on a show for people from Grand Bahama. Don't forget the youngsters like Kyle and Giles, and then Jamal Wilson.
Lil Sean. I don't know if Lil Sean is going to come, but
competed on the weekend.
But all of them all of them has a personality and a show within themselves. You know.
I like high jump.
Yeah.
They're dynamic. I wish we could have that type of energy on the track, but we need to focus.
but the World Championships being so late this year, when did you start your training? When did you open up your camp?
September. Like you still have to go through the whole training process. So even though like the World Champs is going to be late this year, you still need to get in that work. And for me, I haven't ran fast in a really long time. Like, we could be honest about it. I haven't tipped under 23 seconds for a very long time. I think this is the first time in 5 years that I went sub 23. So it's like, why not train? Girl, you need it.
So you agree with the Nationals being, you like it at this time, July, because it normally would have been gone from the last week in June.
I mean, from a selfish standpoint, since I train in Italy during the summer, it would have been better for me to have trials in June, because once I reached Italy, I definitely wouldn't have to come back on this side of the world until probably Pan Am Games. But in actuality, it fits better into the schedule. IAAF created the time slot for it. A lot of other countries have their nationals around this time, so it's like, why not? Worlds is already so far away. And it's also actually better for athletes that may not be able to get to Europe and get the meets needed. So they would have a better chance to say, okay, they ran fast in July. They had a runoff in July. I think they had the Blue Marlin meet afterwards, like probably a week or so afterwards. So that's going to be a next run that they get. They had the Pan Am Games. That's a run there they get again. So they don't have a time where they could say, oh, they may have flaunted sometime and dropped off in the season. No, this is actually a build-up to September, October. So
Kramer, like you said, it seems to be working, not having it in late July.
Well, for this year, because remember that the only reason why the schedule has changed is because of the fact that it's so hot in Qatar. so it could be more bearable for the athletes and of course the spectators. They had to move it to the end of September, going into the first week of October. That is the only reason why. But normally, the World Athletics now was just trying to be accommodating to Qatar. But once they granted them the hosting rights to it.
And the Pan Am team was named a few weeks ago, and they get set to leave early next month for Lima, Peru. That team will be, some of those athletes will also be competing here in the Nationals. Let's go back over some of the other matchups. We talk about the high jump, we talk about the 400. What about the... Because more the attention seems to be on the women's side.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
But it tells you in terms of the program with our ladies and young ladies, the sport have really come a long way. And even trying to get athletes to come to you this morning, there are a number of our athletes who trying to make their way back home now from competing this weekend, and then a number of the elite athletes are still trying to make their way home from. And like in some cases, Clermont, Florida, trying to get back to Nassau. But yeah, some of our junior athletes or college athletes have already shut down because, like we talked about, Samson, who's shut down in preparation for the Olympics next year. So a number of them also have already shut down, also in preparation for college and also the Olympics for next year, just to rest. But in any regard, we still have a great set of athletes. Competition is going to be stiff in Freeport. Like the men's triple jump, even though we talked about Anthonique and Lothario calling men's, but also that field is also going to be stacked also. Levan Sands is always, every time you hear him talk, he's always doing his thing, trying to keep the guys motivated and encouraged in the sport, and especially when it comes down to the jumps. All right, and of course, Moscow, I think 2015, is it Anthonique Lothario was competing, and you could see he was even though he was competing, but he was like the granddaddy in competition with him. He kept him encouraged and kept him close to him. So I think Freeport is going to be very exciting this coming Friday and Saturday.
Is Freeport ready?
I think they are. Like I said, the LOC has been working very hard. like I said, in my mind, one of the big complaints that I had was that we got to get the lighting right. And from all appearances, they've talked to BEC. BEC has agreed to come in and improve the lighting. So that's been taken care of.
Warm up area.
Well, that backstretch has always been the warm-up area for Freeport.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm not quite sure much has changed in that regard. So once you start a 400, then of course everybody clear the track. If it's a 1 or 200, I'm sure that backstretch is going to be very busy with warm-up and stretches. So
you're heading to Peru, right? To Lima for the Pan Am Games.
Yes.
Are you looking forward to that one? From 1 week to the next week, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's the life of track and field. But I'm really excited for it. The last Pan Am Games I went to, it wasn't really the best for me. But like I said, this year I'm better spirits. I'm healthier than I've ever been. So I'm just excited to see how the season's going to play out for me.
Under 11, under 23 this weekend? You have the competition to push you. You're coming off a fine run a few weeks ago. You seem to be in the best shape. You're happy. You're motivated. You'll be among your fans and your folks are under 11, under 23.
Well, I'm just trying to take everything a step at a time. I really don't even have a trajectory time for this weekend.
So what are you doing leading up? Is it still hardcore training, or you've eased up a bit for this week ahead of the trials?
I've eased up a little bit, not so much, because the biggest showdown is going to be in September, October, and you have to basically plan for that right there. You don't want to back off so much until the point where you can't load up to the extent that you need to offload again for September, October.
And all athletes, only your sons or any other athletes we know won't be there this weekend?
I don't have that list to say who will probably not be making it. I know Devin Charlton arrives in town today. I know a number of the artists also be flying directly into Freeport. For example, Trey Smith will be flying directly into Freeport. I had a chance to see him run in Clermont 2 weekends back. Also, Alonzo Russell also. I'm looking forward to seeing him run this weekend.
He's from Freeport.
Yeah. And of course, we like you mentioned, you started this one making fun about the second city, but boy, when it comes down to supporting their own, they've got some real pride in Freeport.
Are you the only one Bahamian training in MVP right now?
Yes, I'm the only Bahamian there.
So nobody else is gonna come in. Yeah. So everybody else is here. Well, Dion, we're gonna take our final break here on the OT. We're gonna come back with 10 good more minutes of this and wrap things up. Headed over to the Buddy Hield Elite 24 camp after this.
In 1953, the United States began using female names for storms, and by 1978, both male and female names were used to identify northern Pacific storms. This was then adopted in 1979 for storms in the Atlantic Basin. The National Hurricane Center does not control the naming of tropical storms. Instead, there is a strict procedure established by the World Meteorological Organization. For Atlantic hurricanes, there is a list of male and female names which are used on a 6-year rotation. The only time that there is a change is if a storm is so deadly or costly that the future use of its name on a different storm would be inappropriate. In the event that more than 21 named tropical cyclones occur in a season, any additional storms will take names from the Greek alphabet: Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and so forth. Here are the names of storms for the 2019 Atlantic hurricane season: Andrea, Barry, Chantal, Dorian, Aaron, Fernand, Gabriel, Umberto, Imelda, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, Melissa, Nestor, Olga, Pablo, Rebecca, Sebastian, Tanya, Van, and Wendy. This public service announcement was brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Thanks a lot, Dion. Behind the controls, we are here on the OT, and someone is texting and tell Anthonique after the show, give her my number, give me a call. That's Henry, the guy who does the massage. He's texting, and yes, Henry, pass on the message to you, and that is a very important part of your therapy and getting your body back into shape.
Yeah, it really is, because it helps get all the toxicity in the body and stuff that you can't get out on your own. So I enjoy massage.
Did any beaching while you were here?
Oh, no. I just reached and...
No sun running, because that's where you...
People, I am lazy, okay? Cap lock.
So when do you head down to Freeport?
I Thursday. I'm trying to get in a day before, and I have a coach coming in to Freeport, so I want to be there when they're there.
Also, one of your coaches out of Jamaica is going to be.
Yeah.
That is very, very. And that's the thing this weekend too. A lot of our athletes will be bringing in some of their coaches, so it's going to be a big meet this week.
No, because my question now is just then. So what do you do now while you're home? I mean, in terms of how do you handle this couple of days?
I would have a program coming in, and I would just follow the program, but I don't think it's going to be anything major. Probably just a warm up and go to the track so that my legs don't seize up on me or anything, because I did come off a 14-hour flight travel.
I know it's a demand too from family. Anthony could come and hail me today. Anthony, some of this.
Well, actually, a lot of my family probably learning just now that I am here.
Oh Lord, sorry to let it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't make it a big deal whenever I come in. I just come and I leave. Mm-hmm. And then they can't even see a post because I don't even post. So
when you come home, I mean, you go out to the track, what's the reaction like once you get out to the track? And
I don't think a lot of people see me when I go to the track, really, because I don't really go out when a lot of people are there, and I listen to music a lot, and I don't really like when people stop me from listening to my music. So, yeah, because whenever I'm listening to the music, I sort of feel as if I am the artist. So I try to get into the work, and when somebody stops me, I'll be like, "Ooh, that was my line. That's the one line of the song I know."
But so for this weekend in Freeport, what's if you were to watch an event, what's the one event you want to watch this weekend?
She said the high jump.
Yeah, the high jump, and on the track, I would say the 400 men.
400 men.
Yeah.
The 400 men always seems to be exciting, from Latoy time, the Andre Williams,
the Chris Brown,
Michael Matthew. Like you say, this time Alonzo, even though everybody might say it's going to be Stevie's own to lose. There's some young guys. OJ is back in the mix.
Actually, and it's exciting to also see that I think the sport has taken on a new life of its own now. You know, one time ago it was almost like it was like the consistent 2 or 3. Chris Brown, the gold, pretty much Ramon Miller. Now you're seeing some really, really fast and talented 400-meter runners in the men. So yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see who some of the new faces are, and see what the outcome is going to be this weekend with some of the finals.
As an athlete, do you go to the meet and say, "Hey, I want to watch Anthonique Strachan run"?
Yeah.
So you all are just like a fan.
Yeah, we fan over each other all the time. Like, we may not go out our way and be like, "Oh, can I have a picture?" But you'd be like, "Yo, let's take a post." But in actuality, that post means so much to you. Mm-hmm. We fan over each other all the time. It may not be as big as somebody that doesn't do track and field, because we actually have the chance to see each other all the time.
Yeah, because you were in the camp with some of the top sprinters in the world, so being on the side of Shelly. Really.
Oh no, I fangirl over Shelly now. Like, let's not get that twisted. I low key fangirl over her though. I don't think she knows that I fangirl over her, but I do.
I never thought that, I thought that an athlete will not be into it. Once you're into that, you don't want to be
I mean, like, when you see greatness, you have to acknowledge greatness. What Shelly has done and is doing now, after having a child, she moved from pocket rocket to mummy rocket.
That's a new name.
But she had toe surgery. Because when she ran in 2017. She was because she didn't run as well. She was running with some real issues of a big toe.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
and I know that has always been like a big problem for us, especially for a lot of sprinters. The toes go out first.
So you're happy to be back home competing this weekend. When's the last time you competed home?
It's been a while. I probably said like 2-3 years.
So you're happy to be back home this weekend to put on the show?
Yeah, I'm just excited to just be home. I'm trying to get some bamboo shack, but
we're trying to encourage an athlete to stay. You're talking ice cream, you're talking chicken and fries.
When you eat too much of a good thing, it goes bad. I feel as if you do a little bit of everything and it balances out. You can't have yang without yang. So,
well, I'm gonna be looking forward to see what Anthonique runs this weekend in Grand Bahama. At the B3 Nationals, her along with all those athletes after eating all those ice cream and chicken and fries. Anthony, it was a pleasure having you and seeing you once again here in studio. Must say you're very happy. That's the Anthony I love to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the track this weekend over there in Grand Bahama. Looking forward to seeing all the athletes. Thanks a lot for joining us on the OT, and anytime you're back in the 242, you're welcome to come on.
Yes, thank you so much. Definitely will be back.
All right, thanks a lot, Kermit, as well. Even though we didn't get much time with you, it's all about Anthony this morning. We'll talk later on. Thanks a lot, Dion, behind the controls in 1540 AM and 104.5 FM, and also on the television network. It's over to the 242, number 24, Buddy Hill Basketball Camp. You'll have some of the highlights of that coming up later on this evening. Until then, I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by Radio Bahamas and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Be sure and tune in next Monday at 9 a.m. for another edition of the OT. It's 10 a.m. News update on weather is next over the Bahamas.